Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. What's up guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert, do your own research. Alright, so today we'll be looking at some SAM coins. SAM being SBF, so obviously the whole FTX debacle is going to result in a lot of contagion within the industry. And I'm going to look at some of the coins and tokens that might be affected by this. Obviously, everything is going to be affected, especially if collateral starts getting sold off and liquidated and everything like that. But these are the tokens that I view as kind of most closest to SBF and tokens that FTX and Alameda were most involved with. So the most prominent one is obviously Solana. Solana was formerly a top 5, top 10 market cap coin. I don't know what it's at right now. It's currently trading at $12, and this is obviously a really nasty result. Is price went from $30 to 10 pretty quickly, given the whole SBF debacle, and there are some key levels here that we're looking at. In my opinion, this consolidation around $12 to this $17 area, this is kind of like the last consolidation area that I'm really viewing before critical levels such as like this $4 level come. You can see that this volume profile, the $4 level, has a lot of trading activity around there. $4 to $3 really is kind of like the area that I'm looking at. And if this current area breaks down, then I wouldn't really view much support until that $4 to $3 area. Now, if we start to look down on lower time frame charts, this is obviously going to look really fucking terrible. I don't really see there being much, there's not going to be much of a bid here in my opinion, just because everybody's really scared that, Alameda and FTX probably have a lot of Solana on their balance sheet, and they're going to have to liquidate all of that shit when things start to break down. So why buy it here at $12 when you can probably buy it at $3? That's really the big question in my opinion. And if you look back at some of these previous charts back in 2020, this was kind of like this September period was like the end of this kind of getting near the end of the overall bull market of 2020 for altcoins. Altcoins had an incredible run in 2020, and then they consolidated for several months. And then 2021, they all really went insane. But, some of these former levels back in 2020 provided some support, or what should theoretically provide some support, meaning like $4.15 level, this $5 level. These are both levels that probably should provide some sort of support, but the infamous $3 level is the one that I think everybody's looking at, because price traded there for a long time. It has like a lot of, even if you look back at overall volume profile, as I said before, it's just really prominent to see these lower levels, how much volume was transacted in those overall levels. Anywhere from $2 to $3, that's really where the majority of the overall volume was transacted. If you look at the overall volume profile of its entire price history, we saw this fat amount transacted between $26 to $40, $50. FTX Black Swan happened, and now in my opinion, this overall level from $2 to $5, this is like the next kind of level area up. So that's kind of what I'm viewing personally from like a higher time frame point of view, is if this current level around $12 breaks down, which I probably think it's likely, to be frank and honest with you. I don't really see there being much of a bid for a while. And in which case, I think this just kind of goes to like lower levels. But, like maybe this does fill out some efficiency, and maybe Bitcoin does pretty well. And I also forgot to preface this entire video too by saying that if Bitcoin like shits the bed, then I think that these are all even going to go lower than I'm already going to predict. Personally, I think that Bitcoin could certainly go to some of these lower levels like 14K, 12K, but don't necessarily know how or what's going to look like. Wouldn't be surprised if the bulk of the move is over in the short term, but again, don't know what it's going to look like in the midterm. So You know, if Bitcoin does look okay, then maybe we see something like, you know, this goes up to like 12 bucks to 17, and maybe just some sort of bearish retest and back down. I think it's unlikely that it goes from like 12 bucks to 26 bucks in the midterm. I think that's pretty unlikely, and that would be a pretty decent sell spot, in my opinion, too, if you do have a bag of Solana. Like, you generally want to be selling on these like kind of bearish retests if you aren't really in these tokens for longer term periods. I think it's just really good to like take risk off when you see these kind of bearish retests. But I think it's highly unlikely it goes all the way up to 25, 30 bucks. That just seems a little bit too unrealistic given the overall market conditions and given what, you know, what's happening right now with this coin. So currently, yeah, I do believe that it probably should make its way down to $3 again, given how much of the network is still in just really in limbo. But again, wouldn't be surprised if we see something like a $17 rally and then a breakdown again. Okay, so let's look at SRM. SRM is a DEX that was prominently featured by Alameda and FTX. These are some old levels. I'm just going to scrub them because they're irrelevant now. I mean, honestly, the next relevant level is probably, well, it looks like price already tapped that 11 cent, 10 cent area, but it seems likely this is just going to go lower. I mean, don't really see any reason to buy this one. You know, you want to look at some old dead projects back in 2017. And you know, you might be able to see lots of old dead charts that just like pretty much went to zero. This one probably will just go to zero. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. I mean, from what I understand, it's like it had a lot of overlap with the FTX team, and this one's probably just abandoned. I mean, it already tapped this 10 cent level, kind of former all-time lows, and it's possible price like chops around, and maybe it goes from like 10 cents to, I don't know what it would mean revert to. But, you know, yeah, maybe like, I mean, it already went from 10 cents. I guess currently it's at 26. I'm an idiot. I misread it. Sorry. So currently at 26 cents. Currently could be finding some sort of short-term bottom. Maybe we see like more chop around this, and like maybe it goes all the way up to like, I don't know, something like 50 cents or something. So you still could get a 2x out of this if you trade it from here. But again, I don't really know what the long-term plan would be for this token, and you really just would want to probably just dump it the next time. If you do have a bag of this, you just want to dump the next decent move up, because I don't know what kind of long-term future this thing has. Probably not great, given the overall emission and the overall tokenomics with it, with the supply to be unlocked later. Let's look at FTT. What the fuck is that one? All right, FTT is, I don't think this is trading anymore actively, actually. I can't remember if it is or not. I remember there was like some sort of note on it. Anyways, this is a very quick one. Just don't ever buy this thing. It's a shit coin. With that said, actually, if you are a very active trader who's very risk friendly, you can actually trade this one in the sense that, like Celsius token, like even though it was pretty much marked at zero and bankrupt, it still went like several X from the bottom. So there probably is like some sort of opportunity here for FTT token to like, you know, do a few X. If you like volatility and you're okay with just losing your entire bag or whatever you want to put into this thing, you probably will have some opportunity. But getting out is going to be difficult because there's not going to be any buyers other than, you know, incredible degens that are just like gambling on this entire thing. But yeah, it's just don't ever buy this one unless you want to like short-term trade it. And you're really just, the thing is there's not going to be any organic bid because you're just going to be trading against like some other degenerates that want to flip this thing like really quickly. So yeah, don't ever buy this, in my opinion, for like any sort of longer-term trade. It's just, it seems terrible. This will go to zero though eventually. Let's take a look at Sushi. I don't know if Sushi is still like associated with SAM as much as they were before. Like I remember like there was a lot of controversy when Chef Nomi kind of quit and, you know, gave his keys over to Sam. And I remember FTX had like a big part in Sushi like years ago, but I don't know if that's still the case. It could be an independent thing now. It could be just an independent protocol. Maybe that's the case. If it is, then I don't think there's really anything to worry about. But I'll still review this chart anyway. Like, I think that overall demand, this kind of demand zone, what we're seeing right here, this was already tapped before, and it's looking like price is going to come back to that area again. You know, it's going to go back to the origin of this mini pump from dollar all the way up to $1.40, and I would expect this to chop around a lot here, but I don't really see any sort of actionable setup. I don't really see any reason to buy this token, to be frank and honest with you. And again, like, I don't know its relationship with SAM anymore or FTX, but in the past, I remember it was a little bit significant. But, you know, maybe we see some more chop here and just like consolidation. But in my opinion, it's more looking more and more like this is just like some sort of overall big range that this is playing with. And I'm guessing that this is eventually going to move when other altcoins move. Don't really think that this is necessarily, you know, a great token to buy personally. Yeah, I don't really see any reason to personally buy this thing. Just think that the lows are coming around $1 again, and we're just gonna see what happens after that. But yeah, don't really see any reason to buy this. And if Bitcoin obviously takes another shit, then this is going to fall out of the range low, and probably go back to these lows established back in 2020 around this 50 cent mark. That would be kind of my next area up. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't buy any SAM coin for the long term. It just seems very risky, but overall should still give you some decent trading opportunities in the short term if you are interested in just gambling it up.